She go kill that baby. Yeah, she finna drink that baby into the graveyard. She gonna smoke that baby long ago. I bet that baby have a respiratory infection. It's gonna have asthma. What else that baby gonna have? Yeah, that baby gonna be cross-eyed. I got a glass eye. That baby really gonna be cross-eyed. Yeah, that baby eyes really gonna be crossed. I can take this one out. See, I ain't crossed. That's a one eye. They baby gonna be cross-eyed.
Charleston White just went nuclear, and this time, the target is none other than Chrisean Rock, the controversial YouTuber and outspoken personality has unleashed a verbal storm over Chrisean's ongoing CPS drama, and fans are saying she may not be able to handle the weight of his accusations. What he said wasn't just blunt, it was personal, vicious, and raw, leaving social media in absolute chaos. But here's the part that has everyone clutching their phones. Charleston isn't just dragging Chrisean for her parenting. He's claiming to have inside knowledge about why CPS is circling her family, and the words he used have fans screaming, crying, and calling for answers. This isn't just another internet rant. This feels like the beginning of a full-scale meltdown that could push Chrisean Rock past her breaking point. She's already been battling public scrutiny, relationship turmoil, and constant drama in the spotlight. But now, with Charleston White painting her as unfit and daring CPs to take action, the stakes have never been higher. And just when you think you know where this story is headed, the first shocking twist makes it 10 times worse. Stay locked in, because what's coming next will leave you speechless to understand why. Charleston White's latest tirade is shaking the internet to its core. You need the full picture of who we're dealing with and why Chrisean Rock finds herself in the middle of one of the ugliest storms of her life. Let's start with Chrisean. She's no stranger to controversy. From the minute she burst onto the scene, she's been a lightning rod for drama. Her roller coaster relationship with Blueface has made headlines for years, filled with violent altercations, shocking live streams, and jaw-dropping public arguments. She's the kind of celebrity who doesn't just live in the spotlight, she lives in chaos. And fans have learned to expect the unexpected whenever her name pops up. But when she became a mother, everything changed. Suddenly, her drama wasn't just about her and Blueface anymore. It was about the baby, her son. That's where CPS entered the picture. Rumors started swirling about neglect, unsafe environments, and heated fights happening while her baby was in the home. Videos surfaced online of Chrisean acting erratically, sometimes with her son nearby, and concerned fans began tagging CPS in comments, practically begging for intervention. It wasn't long before reports claimed CPS had, in fact, stepped in. At first, Chrisean denied everything, saying people were exaggerating and twisting her life for clicks. But the whispers only grew louder. The moment she went live, crying, saying she was under attack and people were trying to take her baby away, fans knew something bigger was going on behind the scenes. Now, let's bring Charleston White into this. For those who don't know, Charleston is infamous for speaking his mind and not holding anything back. He doesn't just criticize, he destroys reputations with words so sharp they cut like knives. He's gone after rappers, athletes, influencers, and entire fan bases, leaving a trail of chaos every time he opens his mouth. People tune in to hear him because they know he'll say the things nobody else dares to say. So when CPS drama around Chrisean Rock reached a boiling point, Charleston White smelled blood in the water. To him, this wasn't just another celebrity story. It was proof of everything he's been warning about: broken families, toxic relationships, and kids caught in the middle. He wasn't going to sit quietly. He was going to drag her, expose her, and tear down every excuse she tried to make. And he didn't just criticize her as a parent, he called her out as a person. He accused her of being reckless, irresponsible, and too focused on fame to protect her child. He even claimed, according to alleged insider sources, that CPS had been monitoring her longer than she admitted, and that the situation was way worse than the public even realized. Fans couldn't believe their ears. On one side, people said Charleston was speaking hard truths. Nobody wanted to face that. Chrisean's baby was in danger and someone needed to call it out. On the other side, people accused Charleston of exploiting a young mother's struggles for clout. posts, turning her pain into entertainment. But here's the kicker. Charleston didn't just drag her once. He went live multiple times, doubling down on his words and promising to reveal the whole truth about Chrisean's CPS case. Each time his language grew sharper, his tone harsher, and his claims more shocking. This wasn't just Charleston White being Charleston White. This was a calculated, relentless takedown. And for Chrisean Rock, already struggling under the pressure of being a new mom, a controversial public figure, and a woman fighting to protect her child, it was more than she could handle. And just when people thought Charleston had said it all, he dropped the first bombshell, a claim so explosive it turned this drama from bad to catastrophic. The moment Charleston White decided to lock in on Chrisean Rock, everything shifted. What began as one of his typical live stream rants quickly spiraled into a full-blown expose that had fans gasping for air. Charleston didn't just drag Chrisean for being reckless, he claimed. To have inside knowledge that CPS wasn't just checking in on her, but actively building a case that could end in permanent removal of her child. His words were sharp and surgical. That girl ain't no mother. She's a train wreck. And that baby don't belong in that chaos. CP's been watching her, and trust me, they getting ready to snatch that baby for good. The internet froze. Was he bluffing? Was this just another Charleston White attention grab? Or did he actually know something? Fans immediately started dissecting every word, pulling up clips of Chrisean's past live streams where she admitted she had visits and meetings with caseworkers. Suddenly, everything connected. But Charleston wasn't done. He doubled down, pulling out what he called receipts. On one live stream, he waved a stack of papers in front of the camera, claiming they were court documents tied to Chrisean's case. Though he never showed them clearly, the implication was enough to send shockwaves. Fans clipped the video, slowed it down, and zoomed in. Some swore they saw official state seals on the paper. Others insisted it was just blank sheets. But the seed had been planted. Charleston White might be holding evidence the public had never seen. And then came the first twist. Charleston revealed that he had allegedly spoken directly to someone who works with CPS. According to him, this insider confirmed that CPS wasn't just monitoring Chrisean's parenting, but had already documented multiple incidents of concern. Charleston claimed these incidents included dangerous environments, late-night altercations, and even substances being found around the baby's living space. The reaction online was nuclear. Supporters of Chrisean screamed that Charleston had crossed a line. Accusing a mother of exposing her baby to drugs was more than disrespectful. It was career-ending slander. But others pointed to videos of Chrisean's chaotic lifestyle as proof that Charleston wasn't making it up. He's not lying. One viral tweet read, "We've been seeing this with our own eyes. CPS ain't stupid." Within hours, hashtags like #ProtectChrisEan and #CharlestonExposed started trending simultaneously. The fanbase was split right down the middle. Some rallied to defend Chrisean, posting pictures of her with her son, calling her a loving mother who was being unfairly targeted. Others flooded timelines with clips of her erratic behavior, demanding CPS step in immediately. Chrisean, for her part, couldn't stay silent. She went live on Instagram, tears streaming down her face, screaming into the camera, "Y'all trying to take my baby from me? That man don't know nothing. He lying on my name for views. I love my son. Don't believe him, y'all." The live stream quickly went viral, with hundreds of thousands of viewers tuning in, leaving comments like, "Stay strong." The internet imploded. If true, this meant Chrisean wasn't being honest about the depth of CPS involvement. Fans demanded she come clean. Others begged Charleston to release the recordings immediately. Conspiracy theories started flying. Was Charleston bluffing? Or was he strategically dragging this out to maximize attention? The tension boiled over into mainstream blogs. Gossip sites like The Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked picked up the story, amplifying it to millions of readers. Headlines screamed, "Charleston White alleges. CPS case against Chrisean Rock is serious. Talk shows and podcasts debated whether Charleston had gone too far or if he was actually exposing a dangerous truth. And that's when the first twist hit. A supposed CPS insider leaked to a small blog that Charleston wasn't lying. They claimed there had been at least 3 documented visits to Chrisean's residence in the past 6 months. The source alleged that while no immediate removal order was issued, caseworkers had serious concerns about the environment. The blog post went viral, quoted in countless TikTok breakdowns and YouTube reactions. The revelation flipped everything upside down. Fans who had defended Chrisean felt betrayed. So she was hiding stuff. One person tweeted. Supporters of Charleston White gloated, flooding timelines with, "He told y'all," and "Charleston don't miss." But for Chrisean Rock, the pressure was unbearable. She went live again, this time more subdued, holding her baby and begging the public to stop dragging her. "I'm doing my best," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Y'all don't understand how hard this is. I'm fighting every day." The heartbreaking moment went viral, with some fans rallying around her while others accused her of damage control. And just when the internet thought the drama had peaked, Charleston promised that the real truth hadn't even come out yet. He looked into the camera, smirked, and said, "Y'all ain't seen nothing. The next thing I drop gonna shut the whole internet down. Watch." The world held its breath. Because if Charleston was telling the truth, if he really had recordings, receipts, and inside knowledge, then Chrisean Rock's worst nightmare hadn't even started yet, the internet thought. Charleston White's rant had already hit its peak. His delivery was raw, his tone unforgiving, and his choice of words downright cruel. But just when fans assumed it couldn't possibly get uglier, Charleston pulled out what he claimed was the real reason CPS had allegedly been eyeing Chrisean Rock's household. And the reveal, whether exaggerated, distorted, or based on whispers from behind the scenes, instantly tore the conversation wide open. Charleston leaned into the camera, its expression deadly serious, and told his audience that it wasn't just about Chrisean's chaotic relationship or her late-night fights being captured on Instagram Live. According to him, there were multiple anonymous calls to CPS from neighbors and even someone within Chrisean's own circle. He claimed these calls weren't about drama but about environmental neglect. That the conditions inside Chrisean's home allegedly weren't safe for a child. "This ain't no rumor," Charleston barked. "This is paperwork waiting to hit the desk." Social media erupted instantly. Some fans accused Charleston of fabricating details for clout. But others pointed out that CPS involvement often begins with anonymous tips, meaning what he said wasn't impossible. And if it was true, it would completely change how the public viewed Chrisean's already fragile image. Then came the second blow. Charleston alleged that someone close to Blueface had personally tipped off CPS about what he called unsafe situations when baby Junior was with his mother. "You don't even realize," Charleston spat, "that the people you think got your back are the ones handing CPs the ammunition." It's a possibility that Blueface's own camp could have been involved. Sent fans into meltdown mode. Twitter threads flooded timelines. If Blueface really did that to her, it's over. "That's a new level of low," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "Charleston White might be nasty, but the man don't lie. He got too much insider tea." Others fired back, saying Charleston had no receipts and was just stirring the pot. But the situation only escalated further when Charleston began connecting dots between Chrisean's unpredictable behavior and CPS's supposed ongoing investigation. He replayed viral clips of Chrisean's public fights, her crying breakdowns, and even moments where baby Junior was present during screaming matches. He asked the question nobody wanted to hear. "Do y'all really think a judge gonna watch this footage and say that baby's safe?" That single line led a firestorm across Instagram blogs and TikTok breakdowns. Commentators began stitching Charleston's video with footage of Chrisean's most infamous meltdowns, framing it as if it were evidence against her. Fans who once defended her were suddenly torn. Some remained loyal, pointing out that every mother struggles and that Chrisean's public life is unfairly magnified. Others admitted that Charleston's words, harsh as they were, had made them question everything. But Charleston wasn't done, in what might have been the most shocking reveal of the night. He claimed he had spoken directly to someone in CPS who confirmed they were keeping an active file open on Chrisean. He didn't name names, didn't show paperwork, but the insinuation alone was enough to blow up timelines. "Y'all don't understand," Charleston declared. "They ain't just watching, they waiting for the right move to snatch that baby." The reaction was explosive. Fans immediately flooded CPS hotlines online, demanding to know if it was true. Others accused Charleston of endangering baby Junior by stirring up more scrutiny than necessary. Bloggers ran wild with headlines. Charleston White suggests CPS file open on Chrisean Rock. Is Chrisean in danger of losing her son? Blueface's alleged involvement exposed. Even celebrities began weighing in. A few reality TV stars blasted Charleston for going too far, saying children should be off limits. Others hinted that maybe Charleston wasn't completely wrong. One industry insider tweeted cryptically, "Sometimes the truth sounds like hate, but it's still the truth." Through it all, Chrisean stayed silent, at least for the moment. That silence only added fuel to the fire. Fans flooded her comments demanding a response, begging her to go live and tell her side. Some worried her silence meant she was breaking down behind closed doors. Others argued it was a smart legal move not to address anything while CPS could be monitoring, but the damage was done. Charleston's shocking claims had shifted the conversation entirely. It was no longer about whether he was being mean or messy. Now the central question was terrifying. Could Chrisean actually lose custody of baby Junior? And here's where the drama twisted yet again. Late into the night, an alleged screenshot began circulating, supposedly from someone close to Charleston, suggesting he had recorded phone calls with people feeding him CPS-related information. Fans weren't sure if the screenshot was legit or a fake leak, but the implication alone had everyone buzzing. If Charleston really had recordings, then this was no longer just a rant. It was an unfolding bombshell that could shake Chrisean's entire world by morning. The internet was split. Some fans prayed Charleston was bluffing, while others claimed they were preparing for the worst. The phrase CPS drama began trending alongside both Charleston and Chrisean's names, with millions of views pouring in across TikTok and X. But the scariest part? Every insider who chimed in agreed on one thing. Charleston had just made things much harder for Chrisean, regardless of whether his claims were fully true. By dragging CPS into the spotlight, he'd essentially forced the system to watch her every move. And in the court of public opinion, she was already fighting a losing battle. The shocking reveal had landed like a bomb. And now everyone wanted to know what happens when Chrisean finally responds. The morning after Charleston White's CPS tirade, the internet wasn't just buzzing, it was exploding. His video had gone viral across every platform, clipped into sound bites, stitched into TikToks, and analyzed by bloggers who smelled blood in the water. Overnight, Chrisean Rock's name was dragged into one of the most heated online debates of the year. But this wasn't just fan speculation anymore. The reactions pouring in from celebrities, media outlets, and even insiders from the hip-hop world were brutal, divided, and louder than ever. Twitter, now X, threads stretched for miles. Some users defended Chrisean with hashtags, like #ProtectChrisEan and #Mothers Struggle Too, painting Charleston White as a bully who was exploiting her pain for views. It's disgusting to see a grown man kick a young mom while she's already drowning, one fan wrote. Others weren't nearly as forgiving. Charleston is harsh, but he's not lying, another post read. If CPS is even sniffing around, there's a reason. That child deserves stability. That child deserves stability. The split became even more visible when TikTok creators began uploading side-by-side comparisons. Clips of Charleston White's rant paired against footage of Chrisean's past live streams, where she could be seen fighting, crying, or yelling while baby Junior was nearby. These edits went insanely viral, racking up millions of views within hours. The comment sections turned into digital battlefields. Half the users begged people to stop judging Chrisean without walking in her shoes, while the other half coldly agreed with Charleston, claiming she was too unstable for motherhood. Bloggers and gossip pages jumped on the story, adding even more gasoline. Hollywood Unlocked ran with the headline, "Charleston White claims CPS has file open on Chrisean Rock fans' question. Baby Junior safety? The Shade Room." While more cautious, reposted Charleston's video with a caption, "Do y'all think Charleston went too far, or is he speaking facts?" The engagement was astronomical. Thousands of comments, most of them vicious, dissecting every aspect of Chrisean's parenting. But the most surprising reactions came from inside the industry itself. Jaguar, right? Who's no stranger to dropping shocking truths, reposted Charleston's rant and added her own spin. She didn't name Chrisean directly, but her cryptic post read, "When the village fails, the system steps in. Y'all don't like it, but it's real." Fans immediately connected the dots, interpreting it as Jaguar siding with Charleston. That only inflamed things further. On the flip side, Summer Walker stepped in, defending Chrisean in a now-deleted Instagram story. "Y'all expect a young girl who's been through hell and back to parent like she's in a perfect fairy tale," she wrote. "Stop weaponizing CPS every time a Black woman struggles. It's disgusting." Her post sparked an entirely new wave of discourse, with fans arguing over whether Summer was enabling Chrisean or simply showing compassion. Meanwhile, whispers from behind the scenes started circulating. An alleged insider leak suggested that producers from Zeus Network, the reality TV platform that's featured Chrisean in multiple shows, were panicking behind closed doors. According to the leak, execs worried that if Charleston's claims about CPS gained more traction, it could damage their brand and force them to distance themselves from Chrisean. Some even speculated that Zeus might be considering cutting ties, a move that would be devastating for her career. But the drama wasn't confined to blogs and industry whispers. Mainstream media outlets picked up the story, turning Charleston's rant into national news. Headlines from tabloids like the Daily Mail and Page Six painted Chrisean as a troubled young mother under fire while conservative. Outlets used Charleston's words to fuel debates about parental fitness and public responsibility. Suddenly, what began as a rant on YouTube had spiraled into a mainstream scandal with real-world consequences. And through all of this, Chrisean's silence became louder by the hour. Fans flooded her Instagram comments. "Say something, sis. Don't let him drag you like this. And we need to hear your side." But instead of addressing Charleston, she posted cryptic Bible verses and photos of baby Junior, leading fans to wonder if she was deliberately avoiding confrontation, or if she was breaking down privately. That silence opened the door for Charleston to keep piling on. Just a day after his initial rant, he doubled down in another live stream, mocking Chrisean for staying quiet. "Notice she ain't denied nothing I said," he laughed. "When I lie, people come out swinging. But when I tell the truth, they hide." His words stung because, in the eyes of many fans, he wasn't entirely wrong. The industry's reactions kept escalating. Reality stars like Erica Mena and Masika Kalisha chimed in, with Erica bluntly stating, "CPS doesn't play games. If they're watching you, it's because somebody saw something they didn't like." Masika, on the other hand, accused Charleston of exploiting Black mothers for clout. "This man profits off tearing women down. Y'all keep feeding it." Even Blueface's name was dragged back into the chaos. Rumors swirled that he might have been the one tipping CPS off, thanks to Charleston's earlier allegations. Fans tagged him relentlessly, demanding answers. Blueface stayed quiet, but one of his associates posted a cryptic tweet. "Sometimes you've got to protect the kid no matter how messy it looks." That was enough to send speculation into overdrive. Had Charleston been telling the truth all along? The public reactions weren't just emotional, they were polarizing enough to reshape Chrisean's entire narrative. To some, she was now seen as a struggling mother being unfairly persecuted. To others, Charleston had ripped the bandage off a truth they'd been ignoring. And for Chrisean herself, the silence only grew heavier, as fans and haters alike waited for her to finally break it. But here's the kicker. Just when the dust seemed ready to settle, another leak threatened to push this drama to its absolute breaking point. Just when it seemed like Charleston White's tirade had reached its peak, a new twist dropped that turned this already explosive scandal into something no one was ready for. And it didn't come from Charleston himself. It came from a leaked CPS report that surfaced online late at night, sending shockwaves through every corner of social media. At first, fans thought it was fake, just another rumor stirred up by trolls. But then bloggers began cross-referencing details, and the horrifying possibilities set in. This document might actually be real. It alleged that Chrisean Rock had been visited multiple times by CPS agents in the last 3 months. Each visit sparked by external complaints. Complaints that sources now claimed were triggered by videos sent directly to CPS from anonymous tipsters. And here's where the real bomb dropped. The leak suggested that one of the main tipsters wasn't just a random fan, but someone close to Chrisean. Fans went wild with speculation. Was it a jealous friend? A bitter family member? Or the theory that spread like wildfire, was it Blueface himself? Screenshots began circulating of old tweets and DMs where Blueface hinted at wanting custody of baby Junior, with one particularly suspicious message reading, "If she keeps slipping, I'll step in. Don't play with me about my kid." Whether those messages were authentic or doctored didn't even matter. The internet had already made up its mind. To them, Charleston White wasn't just dragging Chrisean for clout. He had indirectly exposed a behind-the-scenes custody war that was uglier than anyone imagined. But that wasn't all. Another part of the leaked report suggested CPS had strong evidence of instability in the home environment and was considering emergency protective action. That phrase alone sent fans spiraling. Did this mean baby Junior was on the verge of being taken away? Was Chrisean hours away from losing custody altogether? The speculation was relentless. TikTok lives exploded with people crying, yelling, and debating the future of Chrisean's child. Hashtags like #SaveBabyJunior and #PrayForChris EAN began trending. Meanwhile, Charleston White hopped back online, laughing hysterically as he mocked the chaos. "Didn't I tell y'all?" he shouted. "I don't gotta make nothing up. The paperwork is out there now." She cooked her own goose. The most heartbreaking part came when fans noticed Chrisean posting late-night cryptic messages on Instagram. One story simply read, "They trying to break me." Another showed a blurry photo of her holding baby Junior close, with the caption, "My everything." But instead of sympathy, the comments section filled with venom. Thousands of people demanded she prove she's fit or step up before it's too late. The once supportive crowd was now turning into a mob. Then, to make things even worse, rumors began circulating that a court date was already set. Anonymous insiders claimed that Chrisean would have to appear in front of a judge within weeks to defend her right to keep her baby. While this hasn't been officially confirmed, the whispers alone were enough to send fans into meltdown. And here's the ultimate cliffhanger. Multiple bloggers claim Charleston White has one more piece of evidence he hasn't dropped yet. Allegedly, it's a video, something recorded inside Chrisean's home, that could be devastating if it ever surfaces. Insiders say he's holding onto it like a nuclear bomb, waiting for the right moment to unleash it and completely shatter her already fragile image. So now the question hangs in the air. Is this truly the end for Chrisean Rock's fight to keep her child? Or is Charleston White playing a dangerous game, pushing things so far that even CPS might step back? Fans are left stunned, divided, and desperate for answers, knowing this story isn't anywhere near finished. Because if that video leaks, if Charleston really has the kind of proof he's hinting at, then Chrisean's entire world could come crashing down in ways we can't even begin to imagine. And the scariest part, all signs point to the worst being yet to come. And there you have it, one of the messiest, most emotional showdowns we've seen in a long time. Charleston White didn't just come for Chrisean Rock. He came for her motherhood, her stability, and her entire reputation. The CPS drama, the leaked reports, the accusations. And now the whispers of a possible custody battle. It's almost too much to process. But one thing is certain, this story isn't over. Not even close. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Charleston White went too far by dragging Chrisean Rock at her lowest point? Or do you believe he's simply saying what others are too afraid to admit, that CPS stepping in might be the wake-up call she desperately needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, this debate is about to get heated. And what about the leaked reports? If they're true, do you think someone close to Chrisean actually tipped CPS off? Could Blueface really be plotting to take custody of baby Junior behind the scenes? Or is this just another layer of drama added to keep the internet buzzing? Don't forget, Charleston claims he's still holding back one last bombshell, possibly even a video. If that's real, and if it ever comes out, it could change everything. Do you think he'll release it? Or is this all just one big bluff? If you're as locked into this chaos as we are, make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is going to be even wilder. We'll be here breaking down every leak, every post, and every explosive reaction as soon as it happens. This is only the beginning, and you do not want to miss what happens next.